The government's going on a big charm offensive to try and get people to sign up for voluntary ID cards. But what they're not saying is that it's not just about the piece of plastic you're carrying in your wallet. It's about the ID database, which will store and track more information about you than any database in the Western world. And once you're on there, there's no way off. You can't, throw away your ID card and that's the end of it. When you sign up for this voluntary ID card, you are committing yourself to keeping this database up to date for the rest of your life.
I can't really see why there's been such a hysterical reaction to the whole subject of ID cards. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. That's the beauty of a democratic society. And if people are opposed to them, that's fine. You don't have to have one. Certainly now that the government has initiated this U-turn, and they're not going to be compulsory anyway. They're going to be available on a voluntary basis. But I don't understand, if you're a law-abiding citizen with nothing to hide, how your life can't actually be enhanced by carrying a very simple, convenient, small piece of plastic in your bag or your purse, a one-size-fits-all, gold standard form of identification that immediately tells anybody who you are, and it can enable you to move around more freely as a result of that.
The government keep using this voluntary word to refer to the ID scheme, but they're also saying that from 2011, if you want a passport, you'll need to be on the ID database. Now, voluntary if you choose not to leave the country isn't very voluntary compared to if you choose not to use your card at Tesco's. Now, eventually they're talking about requiring an ID card to open a bank account or get a job. And it's perfectly possible to live life without these, but it's not the kind of life that millions of people in this country already lead.
I'm convinced that perhaps the uptake has been affected, and I don't see how it could not have been, by the debate surrounding ID cards. I think it's affected particularly people who may have had a fairly benign or almost indifferent view to ID cards. The fact that there has been such a vociferous outcry from certain lobbying groups and civil liberties groups about the compromising of our privacy, that it may have made people think again before they've actually looked into it properly.